Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So while we've already seen the previews of episode 2 of One Punch Man season 3, a lot of fans are already clowning on the animation being bad, with some fans even harassing Murata sensei on a tweet he just made about a completely different topic. Murata has nothing to do with the animation of One Punch Man season 3. He has nothing to do with JC's staff, he only draws the manga. Plus the animation in episode 1 and soon episode 2, which will be releasing a day after I upload this video, is not even that bad. The right term to use in my opinion is inconsistent. The animation by JC staff is just inconsistent. We can get a great panel with excellent compositing in one scene and the next could just look completely disproportional or just be moving still frames, but it's not still bad animation. And I've been hearing a lot of people saying that the bad animation is what JC staff has been working on for the last 6 years since season 2. JC staff did not start working on the animation of One Punch Man season 3 until about a year ago. They didn't spend the last 6 years working on One Punch Man season 3. This isn't Folktale or 5 Elements or Into the Spider-Verse. Let's not forget that there are worse animes currently airing that are animated way worse than One Punch Man. Anyways, that aside, as I've said in my previous video, season 3 of One Punch Man is not going to be completely loyal to the manga in the sense that new anime scenes, anime original scenes will be added and manga panels and scenes will be removed, as we saw in episode 1 with the Royal Reaper scene being completely cut out of the anime. Episode 2 will cover chapter 87 and 88 of the manga, with that finally kicking off the action in the season when Garou faces Royal Reaper and Bug God. Again, I'll be making breakdown videos of each episode, so subscribe for that, but today, this video is about the top fights in the One Punch Man manga we will not see animated by JC staff in season 3 of the anime. And what I mean is no manga is as consistent at retconning or redrawing fights, scenes, whole chapters, and even sometimes whole story arcs as the One Punch Man manga is. The One Punch Man manga is known for redrawing some of its most epic fight scenes to easier, shorter, and less action-packed battles. With the prime example of this we will see in season 3 being Phoenix Man vs Child Emperor and Saitama vs Orochi. The original Child Emperor vs Phoenix Man was one of the longest, most hard-fought, tough, and visually stunning fights in the entirety of One Punch Man. So not seeing that epic fight being animated in season 3 by JC staff is kind of a good and bad thing. The good thing being that we all know JC staff can animate this fight. I know I said the fact that JC staff is not animating this fight is a good and bad thing, but the fact that JC staff is not animating this fight is a good thing. JC staff is not Studio Mappa or Madhouse that animated season 1. With the animation budget they're working with, they can animate a fight of this caliber the way we want it. And even if they tried, it would be the most disappointing fight ever adapted from any manga in the history of anime. JC staff legit cannot animate this fight. They're better off animating a much simpler redraw in the manga where they literally had Phoenix Man losing to Child Emperor by him tickling him to death. Or not death, I think he was reborn as a chick or something, but the redraw does lead to a much more smaller scale, less action-packed, underwhelming victory for Child Emperor. The bad thing is that we will never see the most peak fights in the original Child Emperor vs Phoenix Man being officially animated. Don't get me wrong, fan animations have come a long way and they are really good now, but seeing this fight not being officially animated is just a really bad letdown. In the original fight, Phoenix Man literally had Cosmic Garou level aura. Phoenix Man had 3 transformations in the original with some of the best designs in the entire series. Phoenix Man transforms to get stronger every time he dies. He resurrects with him gaining the ability at one point to reanimate dead corpse. That's any dead monster or human could have been brought back by Phoenix Man, Boros, Goketsu, you name it. Phoenix Man was easily a dragon level threat in the original fight at his peak and probably one of the most powerful monsters, maybe even surpassing Orochi at that moment, pushing Child Emperor to his very limits. And credit to Child Emperor because at the end of the day he still won that fight even though it's by the same means that he did in the redraw. The second most important fight we will not see animated in its original peak form is Saitama vs Orochi. That's right, the original King of Monsters vs Cake Body was a much shorter fight compared to the original Phoenix Man vs Child Emperor, but the impact of this battle was much more intense. Saitama vs Orochi was a fight that sent shockwaves from the depths of the Monster Association HQ to the surface, destroying entire city areas and putting monsters and heroes miles away in danger. The original fight really showed us what Orochi was truly capable of and made his fight against Garou look like child's play. And let's not forget that at this point, Orochi was basically a kaiju, though at the end of the day he was still defeated by a normal punch from Saitama in both the original and the redraw. The original Saitama vs Orochi was redrawn to make the fight drive the God plot storyline further, which I think honestly wasn't a bad decision. The original fight had way more action, but the redraw had more significance. Other major original fights we won't see animated in season 3 of One Punch Man include Puri Prisoner vs Nyang, Saitama vs Overgrown Rover, Amai Mask vs Dues, and Atomic Samurai vs Black Sperm. All the original fights were more action-packed than their respective redraws, but honestly it was probably for the best because I would rather remember the original Child Emperor vs Phoenix Man as it was in the original than seeing it butchered by the inconsistent animation of JC Staff. This is where the fan animators come in. That's all for me, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the breakdown video for episode 2.